It's time for the Real Talk Show with Aunty Jenny.
In every industry.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Real Talk Show with Aunty Jenny. Last week we had a very sensitive topic, and I think most of you saw me cry on set. But yeah, you see, those are the things that happen in my line of work. You get things that affect you sometimes when you're watching the shows, and when you're dealing with cases like this. You know, I'm a human being, so yeah, I'm sure it's normal to cry, I think. So today we're going to be talking about a different story altogether, but I'm afraid it's also one of the most sensitive issues as well that a lot of people are facing right now. You could be male, you could be female, but you could be going through this and you could actually relate to this story. It's a story that is coming from an anonymous person. I know their name, obviously. I'm just telling you this so that you can actually write to me with confidence. Right. So today, I am very lucky to have on my panel very, what can I say, learned people. I have a doctor on the panel. So it's one of the most amazing things that I'm going to, mention right now because I'm so excited. We all know that reputable people like doctors and nurses, social workers, lawyers, and models, those are people that represent our countries, and it not like they represent everything that we do, but when they say something, we take it seriously because these are the people that have learned a thing or two about people. They are always in the public eye, so they are always meeting people with similar cases. It could be the same story, it could be the same person that I'm talking about now, but we are going to share this with you today. So on my panel, I have Dr. Kandodo. And I also have, is it Master Jemwa?
Okay, Mike Kandodo.
Mike Kandodo. And then, but you could be Dr. Kandodo as well.
Of course, yeah.
Because
for that.
No, not that. Because he's a doctor, yeah, he's your husband. It could, these days everything is sexually transmitted. Because mrume kana chiprofita unengo kuprofita. That's the thing that's happening these days. Yeah, so unengo a prophetess. So you're a doctor. So Dr. Kandodo and Dr. Kandodo. Right. And then I have my beautiful model here, Mamoyo. You said your name is Ordained Mamoyo. She was ordained to be pretty by the Lord. Right. So she's one of the contestants on the Miss Zim UK, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
Right. So we're going to be talking about a story. I'm going to read the story right now so that everybody knows what we are talking about today. So please help. What would you do? I've been married for 16 years, all good for a start. But things were very bad in the past 8 years. Husband moved out of our bedroom, started showing funny behaviors with affairs, but always denied and ignored me big time. I begged over and over to talk about our problems, but he always refused. The distance got bigger following years, but was holding on for the kids. Bad choice. Bad choice. Doctor, is that a good choice? Holding on for the kids. Bad choice. Bad choice. Right. But that's my opinion. They will have their own opinion. Just wait for this. Right. So she waited for the kids to grow up with her mother and father in the house. He always said he wanted to be left alone and was no longer interested, but I lived in denial myself. For those 8 years, there was no sex at all. Think a lot of people who know, I think pastors, registrars, and a lot of people who know about family law will know that if you're a married couple, intercourse is very important. It's part of the what do you call them, conjugal rights. It's a right that married people should be married. So I need you to consider this as well, and my partner, I need you to consider this when you when you're sacrificing this woman, because I know some people are going to attack her, right? For 8 years there was no sex at all, but after 8 years I decided to date and found a man. Now I'm ready to move on. I told hubby that I want to divorce, but now he has taken a twist. He wants us to talk and move on. What do I do? There you go. This man has been ignoring her for the past 8 years. Ashina Girwa Nana Nana Menga, that's the most popular name. And it Kumas Moda Suku. Vangosh got the same house but different bedrooms. So naturally, I mean, Doc, you know what I'm talking about. This is an old couple, and they have children. They've been married for 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah, so this is mid. They're probably in their late 30s or 40s. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about this story? What advice can you give this woman? Because I have advice that other people said on Facebook. I'm gonna share some of the answers. That way, the most liked ones I'll share with you, so that people can actually hear like what it is that was said and compared to what you're going to say. What is your opinion? How would you advise this sister? Because when I read this story, I had to phone her and I spoke to her because I wanted to find out exactly what was happening. But I'm telling you, I don't judge naturally. I don't judge because I deal with so many cases. If I judged, I wouldn't be putting some of these stories on air or even live on TV right like this. But this woman, she's been through a lot. I don't want to put words in your mouth, because if I say the right words, like the politically correct words, I'll probably give you an idea. But I want to hear exactly what you think about this.
I don't know. I think from my perspective, I think there are two ways to it.
Mm-hmm. Put yourself in your shoes.
I think I've got a selfless approach. So usually when I look at things like this, I look from the child perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to raise children, very
in an environment,
my parents waka split up. Panama complications anouya through my broken families. And I'm sure you know most of say vana my gangs vana who find themselves being exploited out there. Usually most of them
they're from broken homes.
80% they're from broken homes. And you find middle class families they usually, if they see a squid, one will break up. Vanavapedza machisiisi zavo vakuenda
kulevel.
Saka ite discussion yekuti vanotaura naivo pachezvavo kuti it's not working, but let's
keep it together for the kids. But ava bambo vekumusha kwenda ava vakabuda vakaenda. So I like that point that you've expressed, that you can actually, because would they go in separate bedrooms or they'll stick in the same bedrooms even though they know what pass?
I don't know, but I don't think this is a new concept at all, because growing up we used to have in the kingdom families that was bedroom. But then again there's also the other side, like you know, with every coin there's heads or tails. So if you look at the situation, you can also say kana vanhu vachivari tupane hostility, and maybe kakuvengana kanenge kapo nekakuzondana kana nokuitika pana vanhu vanenge vasadanani. You know, there's a thin line between love and hate. Saka pane gona kuti whatever is happening between the parents, it will also rub into the children.
It always does.
The children big time.
It always does.
How this balance can be reached.
Because I think I'm notorious for saying the next line that I'm going to say. I think sometimes it's better for parents to raise the kids mumwari kwake than in the same, under the same roof, because the kids are going to pick up on that hostility.
Yes, they will.
So I always say that, and some people, I remember somebody said, I don't think Aunty Jenny is married. I'm actually married. but I care for the children. Yes, because somebody said that no, there's no married woman who could say such things. But I'm married. I am married. I've been married for a couple of years, and I'm telling you, there are situations whereby it's better for the parents to be separate than kuti vange vari under the same roof. If papa in a problem, because vana they are like sponges. They absorb.
They can normalize a very dangerous.
Vanotozviziva vana ende ukasangana nevamwe vana vanenge vakangwarisa, they will start taking advantage of the situation. They will abuse the parents.
Of course.
So much. And you wonder, how come she gets whatever she wants? How come he gets whatever he wants? It's because they know that ndikaenda kuna mdhara chadotenga side rangu, ndikaenda kuna mama chadotenga side rangu, so I can get my PS3, I can get my PSP, I can get Xbox, whatever, PS4, mugona. So I think my sister here, she thought she was actually fixing something, but she was fixing something by damaging something else.
But I think in this situation, we should also hear side
Ramdara,
because for the last
8 years.
8 years, yeah, that's a long period.
Very long.
Very long, yeah, in a marriage setting. I think there's something wrong here, deep inside. Probably something which Mkazi doesn't want to say, or just Mdara is just a bad boy.
Bad boy. No, he is right to look at both sides of the story, but I don't have a problem na Mdara, and but you have a point. There could be something that the sister did, and that upset the brother.
Yes. Probably kana sangu wirana from yet personality kana zonchitwa nemumwe my beliefs kana whatever. You never know. But Pamazo you said the men want to talk.
Exactly. Because I was gonna say okay.
Let's do a small chance.
If brother didn't like whatever was happening before, what's so special about the sister now?
Probably wanyakupotezana. Kuna one was going to popota.
But it seems as if the woman was more into the relationship more than the man, because Murumai Mkaza tauran.
Probably in a own world, I want to get more into the relationship. But Murumeka, I got probably Munangari aggressive and some party. Cannot punish a eater.
Oh, right. Yeah. You know what? To everyone who's listening out there, listen to the doctor. He knows what he's talking about. No, honestly, listen to the doctor. The doctor knows what he's talking about. This is one point every person should take on board. Because sometimes when you have an argument, Tina was still it, we are very defensive sometimes. And the munaka started that. Even if I try to talk to this person, I think but we are not saying this is how the case was in this case. We're just saying because we're trying to teach other people and this thing. So what you're saying is actually a very valid point. It's valid because hostility indeed was sure. I've seen one because
by her moving out, I'm trying to treat my symptoms, but the root cause a problem. I think I got about to work out the problem. You get up and up. We'll try to work out from there. Then what? Just was a square and a second. Move out. It seems that she doesn't know why was
communication is like
it's a key.
Yeah. Right. I dug more into this and I spoke to the sister. Yes, I dug more into this. Yes, she was in denial. She was very in denial. She was because when I asked her, he said this guy was is now serious and but there was just no married, and the fact that he was saying it's over, I should leave him alone. And what do I do? And I should commend this sister on staying 8 years in the Muno Akadaro. 1, 2, the fact that she's asking for advice with what do I do now, it means she is someone who's got her head properly screwed on her neck. Because some people, their head are screwed elsewhere. We would, within 2 years, yes, we've heard of cases. Have you not heard of cases whereby someone lives for the UK or the US or South Africa just for 2 years? There have been cases like that, you see. So the fact that she wants to talk about it is a very, very good point. She can actually, because she really, really needs to know what next step to take, whether to stay with the husband and talk things over. But before I go where I thought I want to see like how as a young person you're going to deal with this, or you could deal with this.
Personally, I think 8 years is a long time for not communicating as adults, especially when there's kids involved. And I think it's a bit of a selfish move for the husband to try and work things out now when he sees that she's getting happiness. At the end of the day, you are alive by yourself and you deserve happiness. You can't raise a happy home when you're not happy. So I think...
How old are you again?
I'm 22.
Oh dear. I think the other contestants should watch out. Smart 22-year-old. Yes. Yes. She's not just a pretty face.
So I personally think what makes this husband think it's going to work out, especially if he hasn't sorted it out for the past 8 years. So I think he's being selfish, and he realizes that he had something special that's about to be given to someone else. Maybe that's why he wants to work it out.
All right.
And also in that 8 years, a lot of confidence issues, or
for the woman.
Yeah. So for the woman to finally find the confidence to speak to someone else or be with someone else, it's a good thing for her. And the husband, I think he should, sometimes a bit too late, but if the lady wants to work it out, it's between them two.
But for 8 years, did they seek any help at all, probably from the pastors?
From what she told me, it's like she played happy homes. She played happy homes, and the reason why I thought this topic would be perfect for this show is I know families are watching, and I know a lot of people are going through this. That's why I thought, because I wondered how many women are going through this. And then as soon as I posted this on the ladies group, do you know how many other people told me, can we talk? This other lady, because I'm going through the same thing. I was surprised, and then I asked her, I said, is it okay to talk about this show? And then she was like, yeah, that's fine. And a lot of people, I know a lot of people were quick to say, hey, those no necessarily say empowerment. But this is a professional, you'll be surprised. I'm not going to say it live on here. This woman is a professional, and people need to know and need to remove that stigma. Even the educated are being abused.
Middle class, English families, they stay for the children. It's not a principle here and that's why you see,
because when you say middle class, you're talking about a doctor, very established. But lower class, then middle class, then upper class, then middle America.
Middle class.
And the second
my family breakdowns. The middle class.
Because these are the people who actually practice the British culture. Because yes, I'm very aware of the British culture.
Annual photograph. It has to be taken every year. If the boy is to the left
and the tie is like this
every year, that has to be maintained. And you can schools. I don't public schools. Those evening consultations. It has to be the husband here and the wife here, and they like that Mrs. title. So I'm going to Mr. Vanderpump here and Mrs. Vanderpump. Whatever it takes, they would do it. for the sake of their children, they really do shine.
It reminds me of the Desperate Housewives. You remember Brie Hajj?
You saw that.
Yeah.
How she tried
So
by all means.
when they say I actually said Van de Kamp, Brie Hajj Van de Kamp, because she was trying. There's a time where she was playing Happy Homes as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do that a lot, and these are very educated women from reputable families, reputable.
Some of them are actually business people with their own companies.
Yeah, with big brands.
Yeah,
They still do that.
Would you know nakana Mr. and Mrs. Hines chakato chaya?
So in Angu, I wouldn't judge them as long as vana were affected. But can I instance with kind of domestic violence? Why would you want the children to grow up seeing such violence? Because they're going to normalize that, and what to stop them from also having boyfriends or partners or girlfriends who abuse them? Because if they've seen the parent
it becomes abused, a normal.
Exactly, yeah, it becomes normal. But I think if that can be discussed in a mutual way, you could okay, I mean, you and I understand that there's no more love between us. But you've got these beautiful children.
I'll tell you this.
We want to carry them through.
I grew up with a play cousin. We used to go to their house, and kamzukuru mukadiki kaiti kakationa vakatanga koko Jenny uende kudze, you know, because we were teenagers, yeah. Then tabva kubasa nachi I'm not going to say nanda udotorasika utaura when nanda utotaura kuti aita sei ndichita sei, but yes taiva koko abva kwaninga tosangana I can easily review kuti ndiani saka tosangana tobva tenda kubva nditi musobva nditi alright we kana kumba titandere kumba kana chi, and then the little girl will come and say, I said mukangogara zvenyu muroom imomo like kuti ovati flosiri kuenda muroom mama, you know, isusu we think kuti ava vanhu vane bedroom yavo ndei mandiri kupinda bedroom inofanira ngeri yaflosi manje ndo yababa namai ndo yamai flosi, and then bedroom yababa namai flosi yayababa flosi chete. Do you get the point? Yes. I saw that, I witnessed it.
Yes, I tested it.
And I'll tell you kuti vana vaka the way they were soka, it was so bad kuti zainzwisa tsitsi. They had everything. They were working class, my parents are. But mukadza abuda pinda mune bedroom, muruma sara bedroom. This was vice versa. It's maybe that's why this was too close to go, because like when I spoke to her, I actually broke down and cried because it was so painful. Like, oh my God, the kids, and I just thought of the trauma that the woman went through. Achiona muno anoda achienda nemamu wakadzi achiudzwa andiskuda. And then okay, finally she's accepted. Okay. And skudiwa bana chirekedze ndite move on. Chisaina kama paper. Achada.
I was Zimbabwean men avazivi divorce. The concept of divorce iyo kanganwe.
Saina mapepa. Achada kusaina mapepa.
No, they rather have 3 wives to sign that dotted line.
Yeah, but why can't you know, I feel like singing release me, you know. Why do you want to keep hold of me when you've always been saying kuti andikude anchakuda? Because I mean, many cases like that. Cannot say the moon in our Zimbabwean culture. We all know this. Cannot say the moon. Ten sharing. No visa gupuro kumba kwabo. Ono visa gupuro kumba kwabo. No visa gupuro pepe. You know, kuti mwanewa no namsunungura aenda. But this guy kept this woman, kept it for 8 years, because that's how I'm taking it now. 8 years. Now she's like, oh my God, these chains, let me break them.
But usually, kapani my families are not involved. Sakapange family murume ngesikare kuti my guru mind, because ndikene isusu vakadzika ina wakauchaka we become pinnacles.
And you become
and we get
involved
into saka panenge patori nema attachments anenge akaitwa zvekuti uye angatodzwa kunzivo woka urirombe
usemukadzi
mainingi saka anenge andisi anditiri kunzwisa saka anongotodzwa kunzi wakaramba mainingava
Dr. Kandodo mukaramba mai Kandodo
vanozonzi zvizoiti
for learning purposes. Do you know my relationships got my marriages is one of the most difficult areas open you do. Taking in considering my finances, health, kukudza vana and stuff. Those things you can work them out. But for a relationship, it's a very difficult area. I think probably it's the most
difficult area. Because I always say this to people. There is my Kandodo story, Dr. Kandodo's story, and the truth in the middle.
So I think people what we should do that. It's better just to sit down. It's
called a prenuptial agreement.
I like 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's called a prenuptial agreement.
1 Roman war, 2 Roman war, 3.
Ayo but because kwa rume nyanyonetsa inonetsera kunesu zvedu madzimai so isiti magentle redisika and kune magentlemen tisi magentle redis inini ndiriwe Johannesburg ndofarira Fosters iwo wakundudza nhasi kuti anzi ayo akunda zvakadaro
prenuptial uno mangono kuti azvishande in the long run. Muzoti kana mane vana like 16 years mane
but I get your point. But should this be like a prenuptial agreement or should it be something that you talk about when you're getting into a relationship? When you're starting as a date.
Yeah, I know it's very difficult kutanga kutaura nguva because zvinhu zviri kufaya. But just think ahead.
That
is the best way to do it.
What right, number 1 it's number 2 number 3 ukadaiso shamwarika walumila.
Well, that's it.
But I think there's room for compromise because I've never wanted Murman Waduru. But the reason why I didn't want for the Waduru, it was because of Sadaka.
Yes,
I remember Waduru to Manaka Tatarika. Exactly. But how many years have you been together? I've never seen Kandodo cheat any of those things.
That's the thing.
But you are but she affect anyone.
Good wiser.
Good
wiser. Right. You know what? That's one thing. I'm so glad you brought that to the table because a lot of people as well, because we're talking about relationships. Of course, it's focused on one sister, but we're actually talking about relationships. This is going to help a lot of people a great deal. Do not stigmatize people. That has nothing to do with their personality. Yes, I know. Personality but there are people who drink alcohol responsibly, and you will never ever see them do anything stupid, or because a lot of people think that they are wife beaters. That's wrong. Very, very wrong. But that's an issue. That's a different issue because those people, maybe like it's just the way we grew up. We are now old school, new school. Like it's just we saw a lot of things that was happening after independence. So they were traumatized by a lot of things, and they didn't seek any form of counseling. So they were like, the selfish. Self-counseling. Right, the self-counseling more. So those are the things that happened as well back in the day. But then there are some people, it's just in them. Some people are affected by alcohol. Dr. Ndimuno's behavior suppression and the effect of drugs and alcohol. Some people, because their behavior, because they behavior inenge right, and then wakangonwa whatever that suppression inenge kavarika. So alcohol can actually lift that blockage. Maona over tanga kuimba zvake atisati tadhakwa mira imone nasi. So people shouldn't stigmatize men because of that, or women because of that, because a lot of people there's a lot of things that could have happened.
I think I think we can be flexible as long as somebody can be responsible.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah. But my girlfriends cannot do that one should be no.
Padoro muna noti kumbomba kumbopanze because the door anonyepa ndiwe Apana is on this one there's no behavior suppression in the way. See yes or bit. Sanyapere wa waiwe. Tizati rumadoro. Doctor rumadoro. But like in this incident, back to our story, would you say this guy is a nice person? To me, I just thought he was evil. I'll be honest.
I don't think he's a nice person at
He's
all.
not in it. He's not a nice person.
He's quite selfish. He's just considering himself.
I actually called him a control freak.
Yeah.
And when I spoke to the lady, I said to just give me your address. I'll just drive down there. I will just slap him once. Ambon's boy I chair. Can
I go to the bands? I can't check on what's gonna. He's not a good guy.
Because the
day I got out, the marriage should have ended.
So in this case, this woman is actually justified. Because yes, like from what I read right now, I would actually end as my girlfriends, right? And the I'll read it back. Right. But things were very bad in the past 8 years. Husband moved out of our bedroom and started showing funny behaviors with affairs, but always denied and ignored me big time. I begged over and over and over again, and it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
sad. This guy was actually having affairs. This guy was actually
having
affairs. So I mean, I think we should talk more about this issue right after this short break. Right. What happened?
It's time for the Real Talk Show with Aunty Jenny.
In every industry, there is always one, the company that makes the quantum leaps. Innovating, not duplicating. Leading, not following. And in the world of Zimbabwean immigration law, that company is Njomani Law. Are you worried about every knock on the door? Are you worried that you will be sent back to Zimbabwe? Then speak to Njomani Law. They are Zimbabwean immigration law specialists. Call the number on the screen to book your appointment today. In every industry, there is always one, the company that makes the quantum leaps. Innovating, not duplicating. Leading, not following. And in the world of Zimbabwean immigration law, that company is Njomani Law. Are you worried about every knock on the door? Are you worried that you will be sent back to Zimbabwe? Then speak to Njomani Law. They are Zimbabwean immigration law specialists. Call the number on the screen to book your appointment today.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Show with Aunty Jenny, to this segment actually, because we'll be talking about a woman, a fellow sister. We're calling them sister and brother. That's the names that was given them, and right. And I have my beautiful panel. Oh dear, I have my beautiful panel, and we are actually addressing the issue and seeing things like outside the box, and that's the perfect way to put it. We're seeing things outside the box, and we are actually looking at ways that we can help this sister and also the brother, even though he didn't write to us. But from the information that we know, I think we can actually deal with this situation both ends, because pana doctor Kandodo Panapa, and he actually said, okay, let's look at the other side of things, and let's consider the men as well. There could be something that must have been happening, but we are not saying that's what happened. We are just, this is a disclaimer. We are just saying this so that we look at both sides of the story, or like if there is a possibility that we can find a way to make this work. It's not going to be like just cutthroat and straight panzimbo pa kuda kuti uende kana chi no tinochiziya nyaya iyi saka takagara nedare rangu nasi anditi. So I'm going to read what other people thought about it on Facebook. This is a man. This man actually wrote, ndoda kukudza chokwadi hama yangu, kune type yevarume vakaita sewako ava vanoda mukadzi ane challenge and anenge asiri wake ega. That's why aikusiya, because in his mind aingoti anoti hapana zvaunogona kuita. Now kwaaienda uku anokuda cause anoziva kuti akasiya anowana mane vamwe baba. So kuda kukutaurira kuda kutaurana is a way yekusada kuimagina uchienda neumwe murume, not kuti he wants, not kuti he has love for you, saka tete zivai kuti he is not going to love you, but kukuchengetedza kuti usawana chaunoita. My God, this is coming from a man. This is coming from a man. Oh dear.
That's what we're saying, kuti unenge watu property yemu family, because you've been purchased, and pane mombe dzakatinwa magrosara aya akabviswa aya makendura aya muchaziva nematendita queen oil aya izvozvo nenge zviri at stake.
Usaka ufunga mari yake manje
uyu munhu utongorova roads aiwaka
mari yangu yese, but akaita vana ka munhu
but still unofanira kuramba uri mumhuri, because kana ina wakausha kana uchiroora haurorere chief for yourself. You marry for the family. Saka you are a property of the family. Sasa ndakata so kwakandodosorori chi
uri mudziyo
wekani wekwakandodo. Saka patone majurisi anoti se anto expect kunzi kana munoona achinga auya iwo uzongoti kwazoita Jonathan, kwazoita Hanzani, Peter,
ndakuenda
Peturo, ndakuenda mazvoda manje
wanenge wakutotara musikana de basa akuenda the house girl is going now. What are you doing now? Dr. Kandodo wona kamukadza akuenda house girl anozowacha pana padiani. So that's I think it's one of the issues that may cause such problems. We are not saying in this case but these are some of the issues that other people are actually facing, because they actually think okay, mariangu ndakabvisa mari yakawanda, and you know vananenge vari diaspora anenge akafani shift over tangofunga kuti mari yangu yendera izvozvo. But in my own opinion, I actually think this guy is a control freak. Don't you think so? He is a control freak. He wants to control this woman so much that he wants to think for her, and in such a way, it could be direct or indirect, but it's very controlling, because there is a lot of issues involved in this. This is actual abuse. It's not physical. It's not physical, but it's emotional abuse, mental abuse. It is serious, because I'm thinking for the 8 years this sister was just there, she might have felt worthless, and she actually felt like what Mukoma, I'm not going to say his name because but you can actually go and see the comments on Aunty Jenny's Lounge on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/big A, big J, and then big L, then lounge, So You can actually go and see all the comments of other people that say if kana mukadzi mudandaro, you can actually go and see the comments mudandaro as well imomo. Vanhu zvavakataura, and you can actually see who said what, but I'm not going to say the names here on live TV. Right, I'm going to say this is coming from I'm going to read this. It's coming from a woman, Janine, and she says you better leave that type, but not for another man. Get your own life, stand tall enough, say single mom, and look after Vana. Another man will do nothing for you. Leave him for the sake ekuzvishandira nezvenyu zvekuti chakaipa chichadzidzisa vana kanganwa. Right. Like they're back to that point. She just straight to that point. You think that you're actually helping the kids when you're actually damaging them more. Okay, I'm actually doing this for the kids. Relationship because I can't leave because of this and that and that and that. When actually you could actually move on and look after your kids. And I think children will be more happy when they see a happy parent. If your parent is happy, they're happy. If a parent is down, the kids will go down and so on. So these are some of the comments. Move on. See as the rumeiro and diranga richi shine pesapa. Change rakuti richakanganisa fei yorozo tanga futi kuita unoharo wokupenga.
I think there has to be a fine balance. Because the kubuda kwachoka pane yanonzi passion exit strategy. Kurava kuti haungokudika kumoti unotora mupako wako kuda kunovhara mapenzi. You need to know what is it then, maybe say like a 5-year plan or 10-year plan. Because I know a lot of women.
You know, it's a long sight. Don't have a short sight on this one. You have a very long sight.
But a lot of people, they are myopic. They're just trying to prove the body, yes, I can come out, which is fine, and it's commendable.
And good for you.
An exit strategy. You're going to write, what is it that I'm going to do? Am I going to go into another relationship? And if I'm going to go into another, what is it that I'll be looking for this time? Because you find kuti kazhinji vanhu vakawanda in the main population vane a type. Like I've seen women who move from another DV relationship into another one. And
first relationship.
But maybe it's not your domestic violence because there's no way that domestic violence can be normalized. But maybe I shouldn't say big the example here, Papa, cheating. Kuti pangatoneka type ketukomana twake twaro dachitete tunoenda ngwetwana asha utu achibabane kam achina pane kam kaniyo yabane kam kaniyo saka tunongo the vanenge atatwa nema players. Saka the chances could be I don't know play. Saka you want to look at yourself. What are you self-development? But what is it that went wrong in the beginning? How can I change things next time round? Right. But and I'm going to think it's possible for most people who move out.
I am going to say this because I don't have the actual comment here, but there is a sister that actually said something that I thought like she was on point. Because she's one of the advisors who said something that I would have said to the lady. She said, are you leaving this relationship because you now found another man? Are you doing this because you are reliant on someone else? You're not self-reliant, but you are like a dependent. You need a pillar in your life. So in other words, from the way you're behaving, it's like you are depending on men. So you didn't move on from this abusive relationship because you wanted to have a male figure in your life. So now that you've seen with okay in Dakaramba 8 years ago, and now I'm going to go into this relationship. So I found someone now, I want to move out. Is this the case? So she said these things, and I was thinking, okay, fine, because I asked the girl, I asked the lady, I said, I don't want to say, I don't want to say, stay with your husband, but I want to know a few things. Are you going to forgive him for the 8 years that he's caused you trauma and pain? Because you need to consider that. Are you going to forgive that? If you think you are never going to forgive it, I'll say walk. because it means marriage kupera kwayakaita 8 years ago yakatopera. If you go with this person now, mukataurirana, if you are not going to completely forgive him for this, and 8 years is a very long time, people still I suffer from post-traumatic stress with things that happen within a second, or something that happens in 5 minutes. But 8 years, it's a long time. So are you going to forgive him for that? If you think you can forgive him for that, then, I mean, there is a ground to talk. But I was so bitter to the extent I said, you need to ask your husband, Kuti, what were you thinking in those 8 years? Why did you treat me that way? And what has changed from the me in the last 8 years to now that's so special that you now want us to solve this issue? And if he gives you good answers, then he might have a good answer. Then he can win his case. Mona. Because you need to know these things. And I'm going to, I mean, actually, all the ladies watching this right now, you need to think about that before reconciling with anyone. Think about what you went through, and think about the person. Are they going to change? Have they changed? If not, think about it again, because you don't want to be in the same place that you are complaining about right now, because it can get very repetitious. Was it at this time, and then you forgive him, it goes for 3-4 months, as Nazaita, 5 months down the line, 6 months down the line, he's doing it again. Think about it, because you are hurting, and you want to keep hurting yourself. And I don't think that's a good thing. I mean, Doc, what do you think?
Yeah, that's true. I think it's good to think through.
It's good to think through,
Yeah,
and when they, because he wants to talk.
Because
I mean, I think they should talk
for 8 years or less. I think there is something she will keep her together. Because I'm going to a small paragraph.
Exactly.
But we're talking about 8 years of life.
They were together for 16.
So
they've been together for 16, like, okay, under the same roof for 16. 8 years in love, and then 8 years out of love.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm actually, because I thought about it, because I'll be honest, if it were my brother, I would strangle him. Why are you treating a woman like this? Why are you treating your woman, the mother of your children, like this? Because to be honest, I think sometimes it's way much better to tell a person, okay, let's call it quits. You move on, I'm moving on. I think it's way much better that way than keeping someone when you no longer need them. What do you think?
It won't be an easy decision to make, though.
I think the man did have some sort of feelings towards her, but the point that you raised about relying on other men kind of, sparked something in my brain. Maybe that man realized that she's too dependent on him, and the fact that she's moving on, he's realizing,
she doesn't depend on me.
Maybe she can find life somewhere else.
Yeah, because I thought about it, and I thought brother thought he was irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Well, we are 7 billion now. 7 billion people in the world, then brother, you think you are irreplaceable?
I think,
brother, please think again.
I don't know if I let go na new date Uncle Mike.
Oh dear.
Daddy, with Uncle Mike, he's so cool. There's always that thing could have the last man standing. Through thick and thin. An African man wants to be the warrior. He wants to stay on top.
I think what change on a certain point in life probably I'm going to jail for the 16 years with those story for this and the class of food out in suddenly things are going to change. My wife's moving out.
Yeah, but Doc, I'm actually thinking.
Never know what will happen to the children.
I'm going to ask you, because I know you've been speaking with a lot of men. Because there is a theory. I'm not going to say it's a reality, but it is a theory, and I'm going to ask the Doc right here on the Real Talk Show, and I know he's going to get shocked because I'm going to ask him this. Varume vakawanda vanowanzita gumbomagumba panze gumbo panza. Anzi vane vamwacho vanenge vane ma erectile dysfunctions ka. saka he thinks kuti mukadzi zvaari kumuudza kuti okay niona handisikunyatsoguta pabonde it's like an insult kwaari. I mean, how would you deal with this? Maseka.
I think a lot of factors are not considered.
Yes, because I've heard this is what I've actually heard. And you know what? My dad was my best friend, and he always said to me, if you see an insecure man, there is something he's not doing right in the bedroom. He always said it. Why would you be so afraid for your wife to speak to someone else? That's my father telling me, because I mean, you know, my background, we are people like this. Family, and many people who know me, they know that I was groomed by two men, my grandfather and my father. Aunty. And these are the things that happen, because my father always said this, are insecure. It's because there's something wrong. About erectile dysfunction. A problem, and then he thinks, okay, if he can go out there and do whatever he's doing, he can actually get someone who can. But it's not so. They will tell you anything that you want to hear.
Of course, yeah.
They will tell you what you want to hear. So he probably thought Mukadzi Karunya, but Mukadzi could, in a different situation, not good this one. It could be like it was okay. I wanna zurugitika. Paita hiyo erectile dysfunction. How would you advise Munagada? So like you've dealt with an academic, I know. And I probably my first thing you're gonna go muro restoration.
Yeah, they should go to funny clinic, you know, the genital urinary.
Yeah, not the gum clinic.
Yeah, one of the mobile right.
And
yeah.
One of your Viagra.
Yeah, but you can go under. It depends on which consider erectile dysfunction as she. There are a lot of things in the causes. So we should wear like diabetes, yeah, and stuff. So as soon as you got for mushe, she was managed to they can actually start working.
So
I think they need help. But the thing is, it's not a time or
accept.
Yeah. From statistics, even from depression.
I like him so much.
Even Ghana abuse. 1 in 3 is actually men being negative. But for statistics, we don't come forward. I mean, probably to forward, Makis out in the Duro and Florence. But naturally, that bravado inside us of trying to fight things. I want to take. I want to try to fight anything. Either
ego is the biggest illness in men.
Yeah. I think because of my hormones, I
always say this.
But in the long run, who knows who pinned into troubles.
My programs are so because you know I've always said this with the always remember the men's ego when you're dealing with them, because they have an ego, but there is a way to go around it. I'm not gonna say there's men here. This is something you need to ask me because I know a trick to go way around that ego. But it's a fact, and I like the fact that you actually said, okay, Varume, we do have this ego, and we there is a problem. And I'm sure if he had this husband, if he had sought the advice from other people, maybe it wouldn't have gone this far.
This far, exactly. Yeah. Now I realize what is about to lose. Something you value was but probably it's too late. Yeah.
It's too late, because I'm actually thinking a lot of things. Because in one of the shows we've actually talked about bonding. And we actually spoke about how to bond. And I know as a doctor, you know this, and you're a mom, and it that's another way a mom and child bonds. And then you bond as well during my conjugal rising, and it. So they've been sleeping in different bedrooms. I mean, like, that was one of the questions that I asked. Are you still in love with him?
Yeah, because I think if I get a distance,
because there are these people were like estranged. They are an estranged couple in one house, under the same roof.
Is the woman in the diaspora?
Yeah, they are in the diaspora.
I think What did I ask?
And why did I ask? Yes,
Okay,
they are in the diaspora.
Yes. My brain is quick now.
No.
So what I was about to say was that when I'm in diaspora, our time is very limited. And we are running up and down.
Constantly.
Kind of basa.
My shifts and stuff.
And all that. So but and even in that chaotic lifestyle, you get the money. We do invest in properties, we do invest in education, and a lot of Zimbabweans, they've invested in their education. That's what
Yes.
But there's one thing that we always talk about. There is one missing thing that people do not invest in. Because of course we do invest in our health. Don't we? People take my supplements, they take all this. But nobody really thinks of investing in marriages. Saka, iwo kana marriage yako isina man, isina ma stocks, isina ma brokers. And then also it's because you never invested. So it's good to hear.
It's just like because marriage is actually it's actually a partnership. It's a partnership, and people don't get that.
It needs to be nurtured.
When you are running a business, you are business partners, but it's one business, and you are like one person. Because business is actually identified as a different entity to the owner, and it was business. No, we separate. But can I remember business owners? Like if you go to the business owner, Zimbo Life, we own Zimbo Life. We are one person. So whatever that we're going to do, we need to invest into Zimbo Life. So if you're in a marriage, the two of you, move on that investment. Because people always think, because please, I'm not that dirty-minded. I don't know. You know what? I'm telling you this. It's not always Vanu think when I say you need to bond is about sex. I'm not that dirty, please. Bonding, it could be a hug or cuddle, chayo, makarara mese, a cuddle. Because if it was about sex, you wouldn't bond that way. We bond with your children, and you bond in kungo garame same room, same bed, things like that. You bond, and there are things no, it's that time, that little time you have even to watch a soap for 30 minutes.
That's true.
Magara mesepa couch. It's not only Bambeda. There is a time no gonna even Zareko minutes and it owns a new cut. 5 minutes is important. But we are busy people, but you get that time. Time in make. And so these are the things that I'll be talking about when I talk about bonding, and Skungo say bondage. Bonding, not bondage. Get it right.
Yeah,
right.
When you work in marriage and relationship, it's a partnership. Do you know when we say it's selfish?
And naturally,
yeah,
everyone is.
But in a relationship,
right now, muno mukatanga kubvira moto negoko zangu 6 inch ndinotanga kubvira moto. Ndotangira vese team yese ndoitangira.
But in a marriage, that's a place where you should ask yourself, what should I give?
What are you bringing to the table? Like any other business.
What am I going to give to my wife? What am I going to give back to my before she thinks about herself? But naturally, I'm going to think about what is
for me?
What's in it for me?
I'm married.
I love Sham Straight. And there's a minus some sort of fix. The biggest than the Bavana, yes, Tumbo Mumpachino, bigger. Small things like that, they can actually be magnified by the other one.
In our culture as well, I think I've heard from quite a lot of people who done zero ends at marriage. There are so many like in our culture who think that even when we were growing up, church
right, when you say body.
But they're not becoming more aware,
this is acceptable.
People need to invest in their marriage. And then that's when manje vakakuti zvoni muri wese tsvaga mukadzi wako muchechi maiwe vaona vakadzi vakuru vachishaya kuti naiwe hazvina umwarizvi and ivo vada kuzvita vari holy maholier than
thank you for saying that.
kuti maiwe and even mumachechi ezimbabwe munogara muri chii munogara muri vari uko
vakadzi
uko vakapfeka uko vateveri kumashure
segregation
mayouth uko sunday school uko saka munenge makatoseparatwa but whereas munomuka motogara mutori mese muchechi anditi zvoti isu takatodedza kuzvoni panguva yaya inonzi rugare yaya ndizvo rugare yaya kuti peace be with you ndikati takaona vamwe varungu vanti kana kanzipisa vanobva vakisana tikati isusu takatotozvitorowo ipapo hatichamhoresana isu kuti amaindisheki anzi rugare hatichadaro
next week ndogara vasaidi venyu muchechi
unoona uzvoni kuti chika
chite peace be with you
no
that's it because iyo yamutaura kuti vanhu vanobva vati pakanzikise ndezvina mwari mukatanochi because I remember munhu achitanzi panapa you always talk about zvinhu zvesex and stuff, it's unholy. I'm like, good Lord, sex is a gift from God. What are you talking about? We are all here as products of that same thing that you're saying is unholy. So are you telling me you are unholy? Because I am not unholy. I am God's image.
Sex is
yes,
it's our creation.
It's sacred.
But
that's why exactly.
Out.
That's why muchiona vanhu vakaitira sex per public, everybody's like, what? And everyone, no matter which culture, no matter which race, everyone. But there are even laws. You're not allowed to have sex in public. There is a reason why, because that's it's a secret. That's God's secret. That's why you see even mukadzi numbata dzozonda bata pamiri, but mwari anenge ndatomba munhu panguva iyo. So do not demonize sex, please. Deal with your own demons. Do not demonize sex. Because that's very, very wrong. That's very wrong. Because I know people have a tendency of saying, oh, it's unholy. No, it's very holy. And when I'm speaking of sex, I'm preaching the word of God. Because yes, so it's not, and people shouldn't be afraid to show emotions to their loved ones, even. Yes, you can hug, you can kiss, but sex is not allowed in public. Because it's a sacred thing. That's why nobody knows what is happening. Nobody knows when it is happening. Nobody knows. I've never heard of a case of it was like one appointment in a 5 o'clock. It's sacred. That's why a lot of people frown upon vanonitas sex workers, and I know they have their own reasons of doing that. Some are pushed by situations. But why that's another issue. Why were they beating them? It's sacred. It shouldn't be done in public. But because I just thought that was evil. Because there are laws that can actually there are laws that govern that in Zimbabwe. That was out of hand.
That's out of hand.
I think that was out of hand, and I'm told the Tanzania wachona vanenge mapostori futi here. Saka ana mazibaba netimbo dzenyidzi murunguru wavanhu.
People have to do it.
No, it is a secret. It's sacred. It's something that is not done in public. So yes, that's it. So we're going back to our story. I was actually saying Baba in I think it is a control freak to some extent.
And this not and Baba do misoro yemusha. Saka musoro kadone brain don't control. Kuti roho rwasungaire narwadzika.
We're not irritated. And then if you control me, you better start feeding me and follow me to the loo. After pooing, you wipe my bum. Yes, you better. Don't control me just one bit. If you want to control me, start from feeding me, bath me, follow me to the toilet. After pooing, you wipe my bum. Don't want to control, because I control my own body and my mind and my brains, and every woman should and every man should, because I know there are some control freaks who are I always call it as it is. Kuna makadzi ma control freak, kuna warume ma control freak. Saka don't be controlling, because it actually brings out that hostility between the two of you, because one of you is gonna become rebellious in at one end. Muna not I am fed up.
Can only take so much.
Yes, everyone can only take so much.
I'm not going to be like this.
Also, sorry, in a marriage, they took fast before man and God. I think we forgot to go back to God. Sometimes, when you get married and you think that's it, you still have to, it's the same way you invest your time, you invest time with God, because you don't know that can make your relationship stronger. So I think in these 8 years, you can clearly tell there was no prayer, you can clearly tell there was no consulting with the priest or anything, because 8 years is such
No,
a
and hopefully, if it were me in those 8 years, I would be praying for the brother to just drop dead.
Dangerous prayer.
I told the brother.
I think she should have said, like I said, I hope early.
Yeah, it is torturing me. I pray that God just drops you where you are.
That's a long time.
That's a long
You should have
time, yes, but
consulted somebody.
that's a valid point
priest
to
or-
religious people, because
And they are marriage counselors.
Yes.
They
they are marriage counselors, but you need also to consider there are people that are not. I'm sorry, because I'm a women's rights defender.
Yeah.
There are people who are not religious.
Yeah.
So I always look at a broader perspective. I look at everyone else. Yes, I can go to God. I'm Catholic, but what about someone who's not even Catholic?
I think I
I'm atheist.
I need an atheist to go.
Atheists, they don't believe in anything. They don't do nothing. These are the people that they should go now to counseling, my professional counselors. People who do that as a profession. These are the people that they can actually seek help. And because this is a very sensitive issue, and I think because I dealt with it yesterday, I'm a bit calm about it. But I kept asking the woman. I said, "Ndipa address yako." Like, I would just want to go there, and I said, "Just open the door. Just open the door. I want to talk to you, because I just want to talk to you, because I had so many questions to ask the men. Why were you doing this? If you didn't want it, why didn't you go through the proper channels? In the legal side, you can actually go to court, divorce, and leave Munaitas or Anita. In our cultural side, my Zimbabweans, my Africans mostly, you actually visa gupuro. No visa gupuro, and you leave Muna. So what if she had decided that 8 years ago, I'm going to move on? What was going to happen? Do you get my point? Were you going to say, okay, let's talk, we should not get when I'm in gas or routers?
I mean, pane mukadzi ambotaura achiti zvoni achiti it's better kuti ange ari single mom. I think in Greek I would also support that view, but I think like ndambotaura paya pane nyaya exit strategy kuti kana iwe uchinge waita single woman, then you need to be very smart, because I don't believe kuti kune chinonzi single parent. I think the moment you choose to be on your own, you become a better parent, because you now have to double up as a mother and as a father. And zvekuzoti nhasi kauya ndine angu paradzai vana vangu
He's good.
kauya ndine angu kumbokonda nevana 3 months later pane zvazoitika hazvichaita I think being a double parent means you need to have 2 sets of brains. You need to think far and wider, and it's actually something that only maybe smart women should do. Because if you are not smart enough, and if you are dumb, you're just going to end up even spoiling your children. Because that's like amount of attachments and attachment disorders, and so on. They're going to think in life that things don't work. Because they want that permanence, they want that stability. So it does affect. But kana vana vachinge vasisipo zvavo, I think munhu unofanira kunge
entitled,
and in as much as kana zvakasashanda with whoever you're dating at that time, it's okay to split. But maybe kuintroduce vana ndopandiri kunyazo, because I'm very much child-centered. I think maybe you need to take a big step. Kana zvasvika papepa kuti zvoni patita engagement makutororana. That's when vana now have to be introduced slowly to the other person, whether they their own bonding. Kwete kungoti vatoda kubhawa nhasi akurara kumba mwana anabvunza zvinhu ko what happened to Uncle Petrus, where is he?
Kuti ndakada basa wewe.
Unozoti chirwana because vanobvunza they will ask.
And some people they won't even say kuti avana basa wewe zvinene urure chicha you know. And vana vakutoita this mentality kuti moms vamwe ava straight. Waiziya pane mumwe munhu akaisa comment anzi mai ndimi mbereko zvakanakira vana kuti muve mese nababa. Baba vakatadza ende munoongororwa ropa mese mogadzirisana naidzo dzimba dzinonamatirwawo kuna Mwari nezviri maiyo shone yakanyorwa pa shone ndifunga ndeva nemwe dialect maiyo maira ndi imba nezviri mairi because I thought kuti ndikuzokuona yes. And then there are other people were like chikomba chinokuda uri pamurume but ari pamurume iri mukadzi. Would you say mukadzi ari pamurume?
I think in a way to some extent as long as kana vachiri vese
they are under the same roof but they're not together.
I think behind doors they are together. I think icho chamboakipa kuti vange aramba pasame roof chacho ichocho choro vatori vese.
Pane mumwe munhu manje enzwa iwe hanzi chakaita abude mubedroom ngachiti agare kure ikoko. If I were you, I would move considering how you see the other men. Anokuda zvemachiwa here kuvana vako. Does he acknowledge them so that you won't regret pamberi apo? But the bottom line is ndiwe muridzi wenyaya ozongodipawo zvaunenge wafunga, right? That's she's got a good advice pekupedzisira, but I like the way she said chakaita kuti abude ngagare ikoko akude. What do you want now? Because I think a lot of people, they were looking at that because some people got it wrong because they took it as if she's doing it whilst they're still married. But in this case, they're no longer married. They just separated but staying together. There's a difference between a marriage. I think people should know what a marriage is. Even legally, there are conjugal activities involved in a marriage. So if you're no longer active in that field, mukaenda kwa divorce lawyer ukangomudza kuti ne 8 years tisiri kuzana tese anobva tora itunza mapepa motosaina because as long as pasisina that activity marriage apasisina mukabvunza family lawyers they will tell you this, they will tell you what I'm telling you right now painge pasisina. And I don't know munombodhirane kwenyu kumakamboita zvefamily like dzirane mabreakups pavana chete zvekuti munhu ane marights ekuona vana chete rekanoti chi zvekuti munhu ane statutory order chete rekuti anokwanisa kuenda unoona vana kana kuti chi.
But some of the contact orders don't go through courts, and I think
okay, you don't deal much with that, you just deal with the child part.
We are a family-centered service, so we work with the family because usually take it under children in families. Because I'm going to look after one because my part of
a family. Yeah, but have you ever dealt like with a situation whereby actually you go in a divorce court where people are actually talking about the divorce and purchase corroboration and whatever it is?
No. It's usually maybe something to do with the child.
Oh, okay.
Themselves. Otherwise, can I private law over it too. When you get the parents, but when it comes to maybe applying my contact orders, cannot maybe custody, we may have to make our own recommendations.
Okay.
It's a service.
Right. Pane mumwazotara anzanzi chazonaka pauri nhasi chambenge chisipo chi akuda kukuzora azanguku azanguku wakawana muchifambi makore masera aya zvakare ava kuda muchengeti in case of emergency. Uyantaura zvinotyisa. Antaura zvinotyisa. Pane taura anzi get back with your husband, then bond you share the bond you share is greater than other things he did. In essence, you both committed adultery because you found love while still married. Get back and start over because life is too short to live with regret. Trust me, I know. Aiwa mfano taura nyaya dzemudaro. I know because ndakambodai ndona akona kumira pashira ura istiri wenyaya kana jeni tikaita unzwa zvese saka ataura ati she speaks as if she's someone who's that experience, but in angu I'm actually looking at both of them Are they still in love after over 8 years? Because it's now like a marriage of circumstance whereby this guy is actually thinking that, okay, I might just hold on to her. As a convenience. Waza nkuku uyandityisa anza kukuzora kuti azowana nochengeta.
But I think even if the other person cheated 7-20 times, you cheated once,
hanzi usanyeperwewe
how I look at it.
hanzi usanyepeyiwe dzavashanji dzekuti you will find a better man and you just can't stand it. My dear sister, move on. 8 years without sex, hapana love up. And kungoda kuti ushayewo kupa rudo, move on. Because that's how I viewed it. I just thought he's controlling. Anoda kumbatirira.
There's no guarantee kuti akamove to the next man. He will be very.
There is no guarantee, and this is one thing that I'm going to tell you, my sister. If you're watching this program, please think about this. Think through about this, and actually consider the fact that are you able to live on your own without a man? Or you're the dependent type, because I know you're a professional and I know you're doing your own things, but because we could be independent in certain ways financially, but some people, they find it hard to live alone without other people. So I just want you to think this through. My advice to you and other women listening who could be going through the same thing, or other men who could be going through the same thing, I don't think you should just move out of this relationship or leave this relationship, this marriage, divorce him and go with another man. I would advise you to divorce him and be on your own. Do not date that man, no matter how good he is. If he loves you, he will respect you and he will wait for you. Take your time. Get to know you. Find yourself again, because I know you've been through a lot of this. Go for counseling. Get to know yourself better. What do you really want? Because whatever you wanted when you got married 16 years ago, you might have been 16, you might have been 18, you might have been 20, you were young. But now you're older. I think you need to know the person that you are now first before moving on, because the last 8 years you were trying to please him so that he can actually notice you and see you in this relationship. But it never happened. And right now, because you say you want to move on and you told him you want the divorce now, you're okay with the divorce now. He is now saying, okay, let's sit down and talk things through. I think it's a bit tricky on that one. I will leave that one for you to decide. But my advice to you is, I think whether you're going to go back with your husband or you're going to move on with the next man, do not rush, because you might be jumping out of a boiling pot straight into the fire. Do not rush. Take your time. Wait. Take time with your children. Bond more with your children. I think one of our panelists said that here as well. Take time. Bond with your children. Get to know yourself better. If your children are grown, if they are 16 or 18, whatever age they are right now, if they are of the age that they can actually leave you to be an independent person, I think it's better for you to find yourself. Find yourself, get to know yourself, because I know definitely I'm not the same person I was when I got married. And I think, Doc, what do you think about this? Because we evolve in a way, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We do evolve mentally and maturely as well. And the person that you were a few years ago and the person that you are now, there is a big difference. I'll tell you your difference right now. 8 years ago, you tolerated him abusing you and doing all these things in the house. But 8 years later, now, today, you want out. Mm-hmm. You are a different person now. Mm-hmm. So instead of moving out and going with another man, tell him to wait. Because it's obvious you are thinking this through. Don't think this through. Relationship or marriage. Take time to get to know you. If you are called Patricia, take time to get to know Patricia. If you are Alice, take time to get to know Alice. If you are Jenny, take time. Kanauri Mkomana, if you are Simon, same thing. take time to get to know Simon before moving on, because there is a danger of something that is called a rebound relationship, and it's very, very dangerous. Rebound relationships, usually it's lust and infatuation, not love. You were watching The Real Talk Show, and I'm going to tell my panelists to say their final words so that we wrap up this show. So, your final words.
Yeah, my final is, yeah, kind of, so I thought it was really serious, obviously, for the last thing, you know, for the last 8 years. Murumanga agenda out now, she must leave. Yeah.
Mandela.
Yeah,
The next guy.
Yeah.
And
But she must take her time.
she must take a time as well, yes. And
I think I'm also
the same
as
notion.
well, yeah, and also to say that for breaking love with herself, because once you love yourself,
People around you will love you more.
To love you.
Yeah,
So
people around you will love you
see that,
even more.
and that will make you attractive. Because at this moment, she seems to be still maybe in a mourning zone. So after coming out of this marriage, she needs to have like
Yeah,
a
because
bereavement
I always
stage
exactly
where she actually feels
because I
that
always tell people that a breakup is just as good as a loss,
death. Yeah,
a death.
yeah,
You
it's
need
a
to
loss,
grieve.
it's a loss.
You need to go through all the stages.
Yeah.
You mourn, you grieve, you accept, and then you move on.
Exactly.
So, our beautiful Ordain.
I think she needs to take time to know herself, because once she knows herself, she can make the decision of going back to her husband or being with someone else. So I think this time you take it to know yourself and nurse yourself in a way, because if you rush in any decision, then
She needs to heal. Ramba murumeti mwewawa. You need to heal. Honestly, my sister, I think you really need to heal. Jokes aside, and I think you need to heal. And like Miss Kandodo said, you need to fall back in love with you, because if she, right now, the face that we see on you right now is not your face. You are hurting inside, and everybody who's hurting inside, you can tell. And if you are happy inside, it shows outside in your face. The beauty comes out. You glow, you know. So, find happiness. Find happiness, your inner happiness, not what makes you happy. No, but the inner happiness in you. Find it. Get to know yourself better. If you feel like shopping, go shopping. If you think like, okay, today I'm just going to go, I'm going to give myself a date. Book a nice table in a nice hotel. Buy yourself a nice meal. Order the most nicest wine, the finest wine in the hotel. Pour yourself a glass. Enjoy it on your own. If you feel like going to the club, do the same. Go there on your own. Don't go with anybody else. Give yourself time to heal and to, mend the broken pieces. And if you think, okay, I think I might just go back to the old devil. The devil you know is better than a new one. Then it's your call. If you think I need to move on, then please, by all means, move on. All I can say is Aunty Jenny will support you all the way, and I'll support every decision that you make. But what I don't want is for you to go through a traumatic episode again, or 8 years. Please, that's too much. Don't go there. End this now. The way you're going to end this, tell your husband that we'll talk after 2 years or after I've healed. And tell this other guy that, no, you know what? You're a nice guy. I really like you. Can we just be friends for now? Not dates. It's a relationship, a friendship, not a date, like a date. And if it's a friendship, it shouldn't be a friends with benefit friendship. Imbomira zekuti varume ndikuda murume muupenyu hwangu. Just be yourself. Ride solo on this one. Yes, have friends. And I think if you make more friends, even male friends, because these days we have male friends, we have female friends. But if you have more male friends around you, which you end out, you should just say, you're going to find somebody you click with better than this man that you think is the right man for you, that you want to leave this other guy for, because it will look bad on you, not just on culturally. Even the kids would think you were cheating on their father, because if you try to make it look like you're still together, the kids will get the wrong picture. So make it right. Do it right. Find yourself. and sort yourself out. So you were watching the Real Talk Show with Aunty Jenny, and I'll see you next week on our season finale, and then we'll take a summer break, and then we'll come back again after summer. But thank you so much to the panel. Thank you so much. You were very, very helpful, and I think everyone out there has learned one or two things from this show. See you later. Bye-bye.
It's time for the Real Talk Show with Aunty Jenny.
In every industry, there is always one, the company that makes the quantum leaps. Innovating, not duplicating. Leading, not following. And in the world of Zimbabwean immigration law, that company is Njomani Law. Are you worried about every knock on the door? Are you worried that you will be sent back to Zimbabwe? Then speak to Njomani Law. They are Zimbabwean immigration law specialists. Call the number on the screen to book your appointment today. In every industry, there is always one, the company that makes the quantum leaps. Innovating, not duplicating. Leading, not following. And in the world of Zimbabwean immigration law, that company is Njomani Law. Are you worried about every knock on the door? Are you worried that you will be sent back to Zimbabwe? Then speak to Njomani Law. They are Zimbabwean immigration law specialists. Call the number on the screen to book your appointment today.